Dupree, and today I have a amazing guest, super special, one of my favorite people on the planet. I have Kadeem here with me. Thanks for coming.
I'm happy to be here finally after she fronted on me.
Wow.
A couple times now.
Not true.
I'm here.
That's not even true.
We're here.
Already lying to the people.
One time, but we good.
It was mad late. We was not making a mixtape. Who wants to record at 2 a.m.?
I was in my zone then.
You was on your Seuster. Wasn't nobody trying to record at 2 a.m.
Okay.
But anyway, so, what's going on? How you been? What you got going on?
I've been good. Just being a dad.
Yes, super dead.
I was just listening to your podcast, your last podcast, and I got fired that day on your that day. But I start my new job February 11th, so I've been gearing up on the onboarding process and gearing up to start on the 11th. I'm finally done everything now. I'm just waiting. So
that's what's up. We definitely got fired on the same day.
On the same day, man.
On the same day.
But
that just made room for new opportunities.
You feel me?
I mean, yours came a little quicker.
Can't hold the player down. You feel me?
Can't. You know what I mean? Can't. You definitely can't. Like at all. So one of the reasons that I knew that this was going to be a dope show is because I feel like you know a lot about a lot of things, and I feel like you are.
Don't flatter me.
Don't flatter you. I'm not. I'm being genuine. I feel like you definitely are one of the few men that I know that really be like super in touch with their emotions. Okay. And I feel like people. I feel like I wanted people to like kind of hear what that looked like, to like be solid and like super self-aware and confident in your emotions and being cool with like feeling them, because a lot of people be so scared to be
I be having all the feelings for real, so.
all the feelings, and I feel like it's so dope and it's so rare, like even for me, I feel like I struggle with it sometimes.
I feel like the world struggle with it, so it took for me to be to struggle with it. I struggled with it at one point, and I think through talking to myself and being confident in who I was, I began to be comfortable in showing people who I was. And all of this is just, I feel like it's me showing people who I am and being transparent. That's really it for real.
Transparency. I feel like transparency is kind of a buzzword right now too. I feel like a lot of people are talking about transparency, but transparency is not an easy thing. Like, it's definitely not an easy thing, and I feel like people are claiming to be transparent, but they really aren't doing the work or putting themselves out there to truly be transparent or vulnerable.
Oh, transparent is a buzzword where? In social media? Where?
Yeah, like I'm saying social media.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Is it really? I ain't know that was like a.
I mean, on my timeline,
people be frauding on timelines.
That's a thing. That's definitely a thing.
People be frauding.
Yeah. But I mean, even as far as like the like how men aren't expected to be emotional, and it's just like if they are, then they're looked at away. But if they're not, they're also looked at away. So it's just like what do you want from people? Like.
People be like, the world is a prideful place, and people just be prideful. And with men, like men do a lot to. I feel like it's men out here that want to do a lot to show that they're men. It's just that they're like we already know you. We already know who you are. It's okay. You walk around, we know what you look like. You're a guy. You don't have to do too much to show that you're a man.
Right, cool. Overcompensate.
Yeah,
for
cool.
the
And
quote-unquote masculinity.
It'd be really an overcompensation of what people think they lack or where people think they lack. So with men is like, oh, bro, I don't do this or I don't do that. And everybody got their little quirks. I know that I have my little quirks, but I'm not really worried about, this make me look less of a man if I do this.
I mean, but you do have the whole little watching you go in the door thing. That's a thing. So, like, Kadeem, if you drop Kadeem off at his house, he don't want you to wait and watch him go
because I'm not
in
getting
the door.
snatched. Like, it's not about me not being a man. Like, I'm fine there. Like, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. I'm not about to get took. Like, I'm not about to get kidnapped. I'm good.
But it's not about that. It's just like people want to have their eyes on you and make sure that you get into the house safely.
Like I said before, I said this to you before. I'm cool. You don't gotta worry about me getting taken. I'm not for real. Is more about like I'm at my door. I'm fine. I'm gonna watch you walk in because you got it's a higher possibility if I don't watch you go in the crib and I pull off, somebody can run up and snatch you. Nobody gonna snatch me.
Nobody gonna snatch me.
All right. So see, here we go.
But I still appreciate people waiting to make sure that I get in the door. I've always had this thing where I never want to be like the last person to see a person. Like I never want that. So I need to make sure that when you leave me, I know that you're safe and you've gotten to your destination. Especially if I'm the one that got you to the destination.
But if I'm 6'4", 300 pounds, you know that I'm.
What does 6'4", 300 pounds got to do with anything?
My destination, I'm cool. Now your girlfriend who's about 5'5", 130, make sure she get in the crib. She can get taken. I'm good. That's where I
don't think that has anything to do with it. But anyway, just like even another example is like the whole on social media, it was Meek giving Rick Ross a bracelet for his birthday. And people was in the comments. I thought it was, when I first initially watched it, like, I thought it was so sweet. Like, you could see that, you know what I mean, Rick was a little choked up, you know what I mean? And he was like, he felt it. Like, it was a loving moment right there. He gave him the little bust down Cuban link bracelet, like, iced him out real quick. And I thought it was, like, touching. And then you go into the comments, and people talking crazy. Like, y'all talk about this toxic masculinity and this, that, and the third. But then when you have black men displaying, like, a brotherly love for each other, it's gay, or it's this, or it's that. And it's just like...
That's it. The thing is, like, when we talk about, first of all, I just feel like social media, like they do too much to like make things be awkward when it's not. Him giving him a bracelet, Meek giving Rick Ross a bracelet. Back in the day, they used to when people would sign the labels, they'll give them change. I'm giving you a bracelet. People wear bracelets nowadays, so it's not that deep. Like, and the fact that I'm putting it on you. Like, I gave you the gift. Like, why?
Right. What's
wrong with? I gave you this bracelet. I can't put it on you. Like, you got to take it out the box. Like,
right.
I gave it to you. It's your birthday. Here, bro. I got you here. Let me put this bracelet on you. Right. It's my gift to you.
Especially because it's like you've kind of solidified where I am right now. Like, I wouldn't be right here in this moment having what I have if it wasn't for you. Like, it's a token of appreciation, if not anything else.
Right.
So it's just like, people was weird. And it bothered me because a lot of the people that was in the comments was actually women. So I was just like, that's super weird. Like,
I can see these, and that's making it even more weird because I can see if it's dudes doing all this. But I think for real, this whole toxic masculinity thing, I feel like that phrase come from.
But I feel like that's another buzzword
men
too.
Doing it, like men, not being able to show their emotions, and it comes from toxic masculinity. Comes from women, a concern from women for women that men, don't show their emotions, and it comes out in bad ways. But then you go in the comments, and then it's that same phrase and that same phrase that women use to apply to men who don't show their emotions in a good way. They the ones are saying, yo, that's gay, or yo, having a problem with that. I just find like the irony, or it's weird. It's like, it's contradicting.
Right. What, toxic femininity?
Yeah, like, I feel like that, like, y'all the reasons why dudes today be like having to feel like, yo, I'm not doing this. I'm not like this soft or X, Y, and Z. Y'all are the reasons why it's some men out here who do too much to show that they're men. Like show you a man. We know you a man. You don't gotta show off. We good, bro. We all know we men here. You good.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, toxic, period. I'm over
I hate
toxic.
toxic,
I'm over toxic
2018.
masculinity. I'm over toxic femininity. I'm over the toxic, like, jargon.
2018 ran toxic in the ground, man. I don't know.
People calling everything toxic.
Yeah, like
everything was toxic last year. I feel like this year we should focus more on just the positivity of things and, you know what I mean, being more encouraging and uplifting of each other. If you see something that you feel is quote unquote toxic, like have a conversation with somebody instead of, you know what I mean, oh, that's toxic, oh, they're toxic. You know what I'm saying?
It's annoying. Like, people use it for I don't know, it's like the buzzword in the argument, like, oh, you're toxic. You know, this is toxic. Like, I'm supposed to take all the fault and the blame for what goes on in our relationship. Like, no, everything is not. I don't know if people like I said, I don't know if people just got on to knowing what that word mean. Like, but everything, what you saying, everything is not like everything is just not toxic. I don't know why we're using this word so much.
I agree.
I don't know what's.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a cop out, honestly, because. Yeah. You know, it's a cop out for people not explaining thoroughly how they're feeling and how a person is making them feel or what a person is doing to them. Instead, it's just like, this is toxic. Yeah. Instead of like really delving into the situation or like, you're making me feel this way and this is why and this is what I need from you and this is what I'm not getting from you. It's just, oh, I'm cutting this person off because they're toxic. I'm getting all these toxic relationships out of my life, and it's just like I feel like there's kind of a sense of there needs to be a sense of accountability too. Right. This is like how these toxic people end up in your life, and are you playing any role in it?
Right. Are you really the toxic one, and everybody else is normal? Are you the one that's toxic? Maybe to you, everybody is the crazy one, and you not. Right. You feel me? Like.
Right. So even with that, and I feel like now more so, I feel like women have historically, or I guess, always been seen as the more sensitive, emotional ones. But now I'm seeing a trend of where women don't want to feel feelings. Like everybody wants to be cold-hearted, or you know, I don't know how to explain it.
I feel like that's a whole social media thing. Like. I don't know. I feel like we're in a day and age where, you know,
how a thing looks.
Yeah, and like women independence. Like I feel like, you know, it's a millennial thing where, you know, women are you know, not looking to be like this status. Like you guys want to like show how strong you are and stuff like that. And coming with that is. I feel like emotions are looked at as weak, and then emotions and feelings are usually associated with women. So, with that being said, with y'all gaining this, you know, women always had independence, but you know, it's like, I don't want to say newfound independence, but you know, it's like women like banding together to, you know.
Like the women's right movement and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all about like uplifting women. Like we're in that day and age where it's like women supporting women and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That word independence is looked at, is used for like independence, like strength, like on your own. So, you know, we don't need dudes. I don't need a dude for this and that. Like, I feel like it's a reverse thing. Like men are being more emotional with social media, with rappers and everything. Men are more emotional, and it's okay for men to show their emotions. And women are like, "Yo, I'm not about to be weak no more."
All that emotion, never weak.
Right? But I'm talking about, you know, the world's like prideful. So like, if women on that is like, we not with none of that status quo. Women are soft. We emotional. X, Y, and Z. No, we can do what dudes do. We can be not emotional and strong and independent, and we don't need a dude for nothing. Just like men feel like they don't need women for nothing. So,
and I feel like that's the real problem. Like, because we both clearly need each other.
Right. I ain't about to fake and act like I don't need a woman.
Right, and I'm not about to fake and act like I don't need a man.
But the world does. That's the problem there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we can't survive without one another, but we supplement and complement each other.
Yeah.
Why you laugh like that?
Because that's really we're really in this day and age where like women feel like they can do without men.
I don't know if it's women feel like they can do without men, but I feel like a lot of women have experienced a lot of things at the hands of men. And a lot of them, just from like conversations that I've had with like friends and stuff like that, it's just like they're at a point where it's just like they're kind of tired. They're kind of tired of, you know, fruitless relationships or fruitless friendships, or, you know, feeling like they get the short end of the stick. So I don't think it's them not needing men, but it's like, you know.
So as a result, all them feelings, where y'all at now, like as a result of being tired of all that comes with men, that is making y'all do what or portray what? Or
I mean, a lot of them are like kind of shutting down, well, perceivably shutting down their feelings, or saying things like, you know, I'd rather not deal with men right now. Or I know people that are on like literal like mancations where they not dating or talking to or messing with nobody for a year. So that's a thing.
So in this like stage y'all in, or women are in right now, does that absolve y'all from having sex? Like, do y'all not need men for that either? Because it's a thing. Like this is a thing. I've heard this from women. Like, I don't need to have. That's what I got my dildo for, my toys for, stuff like that. Like this mancation, do y'all stay away from men in total, or?
Well, some of them, like some mancations include like that, but then in some of them it's like no, they're celibate, they're not dating, like they're chilling off of men in general. They're just focusing on themselves. It's not a thing where it's like they're not entertaining men. It's more so they're focusing on themselves and getting back into that self-love and self-care, and, you know, focusing on what they want and what makes them happy.
I said this before. You can focus on self without. You can focus on self and still have sex. Like, I'm not understanding how can that happen? Like, why can't that happen?
I mean, you can, but honestly, sex can be a distraction. Okay. You don't think sex can be a distraction?
No.
Sex can absolutely be a distraction.
Dudes ain't trying to hear that. Actually, I'm not trying to hear that. I don't think that, like, when I hear something like that, when I hear, like, I don't need to have sex, or I don't need a man for this, and that. Listen, when them nights when I can say certain words on?
Yeah, you can say.
Curse. Can I curse on here?
You can.
Okay.
I'll just make it explicit content.
When women are talking about they don't need to have sex, or they don't need dick, they got toys and stuff like that. Like them night, like you gonna get tired of feeling plastic, man. Listen, it's the winter time.
Oh my God.
It's the winter time. It's snowing. You gonna get listen. When you have to shovel, you gonna wish you have a man in here. It's just certain things that you're not gonna want to do. Now women, you can do whatever you want to do, whatever you put your mind to. But when your driveway got inches of snow on it, you're gonna wish you had a man to shovel your driveway out, dig your car out, take your trash out. You're gonna wish you on them lonely cold nights when the two, when your double A's or your triple A's is out, you gonna wish you had a man in here.
Wait, what are triple A's?
Batteries.
No, never mind.
It's not single A.
I don't think triple A is a thing, is it? Oh no, they are.
They are. We just had this.
Never mind.
Yeah. But it's things that you gonna wish you had a man for. Period. I'm not with this whole I don't need a man. I'm going without. Them same people. That's all. It's all a front. It's all a front.
But I mean,
I feel like it's a front.
Some women, they feel as though, those things such as like shoveling and carrying groceries and taking out trash, like they don't mind on those things. They feel like that women independence. If they gonna be about it, they gonna be about it. When they're on there, like I can do anything a man can do, that goes across the board. I mean, now me personally, I don't like taking out trash.
Okay,
I don't like carrying groceries. No. I don't want to shovel nothing. But some women, they don't mind.
And that same women who's saying all that, they're out. Let's see that. My whole thing is they're saying that. I feel like women be saying that in the now for a morale boost. Do that for a year. Do that for 2 years. Then I'm all right.
I mean, after 2 years.
Come on, all right. So
it's not. It's a regular thing.
So let's stop all that. I can do without a man's type of talk.
Yeah, I mean,
because you're not. If you really on this. I just feel like it's a front if you just saying that for the now. Or I feel like those same women who preach all that on social media, because all this stuff be prevalent on social media. They're the same people that put their phone down, log out of Instagram, whatever you do, click out of Instagram, and they be the ones at night crying about how they need a man. You do all this fronting during the day, and you be in your bed lonely, thinking about a man, probably crying.
For real though, that's extreme.
These same women, I just feel like it's a front. Don't do that. Like, perception is really reality nowadays, and I feel like a lot of these things are perpetuated on social media. A lot of this be a front. A lot of this women, like, not the whole women independence thing, because again, like, I just feel like that,
women are mad strong and capable.
Right. I just feel like it's even more it's heightened today, and through the use of social media.
I agree, and I feel like I don't know, and I feel like also just the climate of it just feels like a lot of people are single out here, and it feels like I know a lot of people that have been single for years. Mm-hmm. So like women that have been single for years, they're pretty much used to doing things on their own. They're used to shoveling. They're used to carrying the groceries. They're used to holding down a household by themselves. So, like, now at this point, I feel like it's I think it gets more hard when you're so used to, like, just being by yourself to actually find a partner that you feel like compliments you because you're fine doing all these things yourself. Not that you don't need a man, but you've been operating so long without one that one really needs to bring more than those kind of superficial things to the table for you to want to be a part of it. Like, it needs to be like the emotional stimulation. It needs to be the, stimulating the mind. It needs to be more than those other things because she's been doing all that for years at this point. So it's just like whatever.
You know what I don't like that I see on social media? I don't want to make this like a whole little social media thing because I really don't.
I mean, I think that might be the demise of a lot of relationships, though.
It is.
Just like people.
But you know what I don't like seeing?
How people look at stuff.
You know what I don't like seeing from women? I don't like seeing the whole, you can't do nothing for somebody who pay $1,000 in rent.
Oh, I hate that.
I hate that.
I hate that too.
I hate that.
I ain't gonna hold you. I
really do. I really do not like that.
Or no, it'd be like, I pay $1,000 in bills a month. I'm gonna need you to say more than like what you doing. Can we chill?
You feel me? Like,
when you try and chill.
I really do hate that. I really do hate that. Because it's like, yo, everybody is doing that. You ain't doing nothing that nobody else isn't doing.
I mean, I've seen guys post it too, though.
We don't require as much as what y'all require from us.
What's that mean?
Like, I don't feel like we need all this help. Like, if you, all right, say for example, you staying in you come and stay in my house and you be over at my house 24/7. I'm not looking for you to take out my trash or do X, Y, and Z, pay my bills. It's all this paying. Like, I feel like when you are in a women, like when you are, going to a women's space or something like that, they need all like, yo, you ain't coming over here when I do X, Y, and Z. But like, yo, I'll be doing this. I'll be taking out my own trash. I'll be paying my own bills. With or without you being here, and for real, I just want you over here because you my shorty. I don't need you to be doing all this and exceed these requirements to ask me what I'm doing or stay in my crib. Like, yo, just be you my shorty. Like, come through. Like, I don't need you to. You don't need to be paying half my rent or mortgage and taking out my trash just to get a what you doing. I need to do all that. Just for you to answer my texts back? Like, I just feel like, yo, it's really required of it.
I feel like it's really not that, though. Like we said, like, people be talking this stuff on social media, but it really don't be that. Like, when they be like, don't ask me what I'm doing, ask me what my Cash App name is or something like that. Like, I don't really feel like that's a thing, and I feel like a lot of people that post stuff like that, like, they're not like that. Like, they really don't got nobody dropping money in the Cash App for real.
So then don't try to convince me that that's what I need to do. That's my whole thing. And just go to touch back on, like, I just feel like women, like even though we in this time, I feel like women, although we in this time of women independence, we're in that time, like we said, we're women, like, I can do what a man can do as far as not being emotional. I ain't about to be crying over you, X, Y, and Z. I feel like with the women independence, we got that, and we got, not being emotional. So, like, me and my guys always talk about, and just to further touch back on what I mean by we don't require y'all to, pay half or nothing or do all this. I just feel like women do require that. So, like, how much independence can you be? How much independence is there when you, like? I just feel like women be needing a lot of help when it comes to very things. I feel like men don't give y'all this grief. Like, it's like, if you my girl, if you my shorty, like, all I need you to do is rock with me and support me in my endeavors. Yo, it's like, yo, I shouldn't be taking out my own trash. I shouldn't be, it's like I shouldn't be paying all these bills on my own. It's like,
but I feel like
why y'all need all this help? Like, why y'all need all this help if we in, like,
it's not, I don't think it's about all this help. I feel like it's like, men are looked at as the providers. They're looked as, men take trash out. Men do this, men do that. Even though that might be toxic femininity.
It is.
That might be toxic femininity or whatever. But
that's a new word. I never heard that. I've heard
guys say it. But guys be saying it like in a joking way, but they be serious. They be like, "I talk about this toxic masculinity. Let's talk about toxic femininity." And I guess if you would talk about that, I guess some of those things would fall into it. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know exactly what it is. But like, I feel like a lot of women look as men still as like providers and protectors, and you know what I mean.
Listen. So how can we live in this time where it's all this independence and I don't need this from you?
It can't be both.
How could it? Y'all need all this help, but y'all screaming like
with all this help,
with bills and taking out your own trash and shoveling your own driveways and taking in your groceries and paying for half of groceries and stuff like that.
I feel like y'all don't mind stuff like that though.
Can you get my nails done? Can you get my hair done? Can you put gas in my car? Like, we don't, like, how could you be so independent if you require all of that? It can't be both. It just can't be both. It's either you need us or you don't. What side of the fence are you on?
I don't think it's a need, though.
What
it's
we
like,
talking
I
about?
can do it on my own, but I'd rather have... Listen, if I can have somebody else take my trash out, I'm not taking my trash out. You know what I mean? If somebody offering to pay for my hair and nails, it's a grip. I'm not going to say no.
But you know what it is? I'm asking this, and I'm asking this because I done had, like, so I had friends of mine be taxed or be, you know, a friend of mine, he was in a relationship where he required his woman to, like he didn't require, but he expected, like, when he came home from work, for her to cook, and or him to come home to a home cooked meal, and she was like basically like, I'm not doing that, and that's a real, you know, what's the word? Misogynistic way of thinking. Like that took a toll on their relationship. So like y'all need all these requirements, but then like it's frowned upon, or you know, it's looked at as like being misogynistic if we ask y'all we have one expectation of y'all, or you know, the expectation of sex. Like, I don't ask you for nothing, but I just want sex. We can't even expect that from y'all on a consistent basis without it looked at as us being misogynistic. So that's what I
mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I don't feel like that's true, because I feel like if a guy is there and he's present and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing in the situation, and
what am I supposed to be doing?
He's asking you to do something. It's not an issue.
So what? Again, answer me this.
It's different in different situations.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you.
Oh man, don't ask me.
What is a guy supposed to be doing? In your opinion, okay, listen. What do you think the general, like, give me a general consensus
A general consensus
of what a man's supposed to be doing.
Okay. A man should be there. He should be supportive. You know, emotionally supportive. Mm-hmm. In some situations, she might need him to be financially supportive. I'm not saying that he should be paying all her bills, but if they live together, I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to get into that.
Why not?
Because, like, people have different mind frames. Like, some feel like if y'all living together, the guy should pay everything. And then there's some people that believe if y'all living together, y'all should go 50-50. I will go 50-50.
Cool with that.
Like, I could do 50-50. That's nothing. Like, it don't, like, that's cool. Like, that makes sense. And then some people feel like it depends on who makes more. Like, whatever. What have you. So that's a whole nother situation. I don't even want to get into that. But I feel like a man should be supportive. I feel like every woman needs something different. I mean, for me, I want the trash taken out. I want the groceries carried. I'm not carrying the water up the steps. I'm not finna, I don't know. It's just like them regular things. It's not nothing crazy or out of the ordinary that I can't necessarily do. I just rather not do them.
What can one expect from you then? In that same token, so you said you told us what you not fitting to do as a woman. What can a man not do, or what can he expect from you? You told us what you not going to do. What are you coming with when you come in a relationship? What are you coming with?
I'm me. But I mean, outside of that, like,
can a man have any expectation?
Yeah, absolutely.
What
like,
expectation is that?
Like, if you want a meal, I'm not going to say I'm gonna be cooking every single day, but we could do a little 3 or 4 times a week joint. Like, you could get a meal 3-4 times a week. You can, you know what I mean? We could. My mom listening, but like, if it's a sex requirement, I'm with that. Like, okay. I'm not opposed to that. Like, if I don't want to have it, clearly I'm not going to have it. But, You know what I mean? I feel like for the most part, men and women both want to have sex the same.
Do you agree with me when I say that women require more in a relationship?
Okay, yes.
And that's what I'm getting at. That's
okay.
what I'm getting at. So
okay,
I just don't know how we live in a society where, we live in a climate today where is the independence. I don't need a man. I don't need a man for nothing, and you require so much when you're in a relationship. So then are you just not going to? Are you guys that live that are what's the word for?
I just feel like people are walking contradictions. So yes, I'm independent.
Feminists. That's what I'm keeping. That's what I keep. Let me. All right. So let me like. Well,
all a feminist is someone that believes that men and women should have the same rights.
Okay.
That's all that is.
And I'm cool with that.
So I feel like you're a feminist.
Yes, I am.
Right.
By that definition, I am. I'm that.
Right. I know.
All feminists. I mean, that's the definition, but all feminists does not live by that definition. A lot of feminists, in my experience, are the more extreme, where it's like, this is what I'm doing. Like I feel like it's a lot of gender roles that are like intertwined or like reversed, almost. Like I'm going to say reversed.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like I've been in a relationship with who I thought was a feminist who. I couldn't expect her to cook or nothing like that. But, it's hard to explain, I'm sorry. Without sounding misogynistic.
No, take your time.
But I feel as though like I was in a situation where she really just sat on the couch while I did chores.
Oh wow. Okay.
Basically, like I cleaned up, I did all this, and she was like, "Yo, I'm not doing nothing." And then she would like, if it wasn't done, she would like text me on it, like be
Are you
mad.
serious?
Yeah, like it wasn't like.
So it wasn't like they was split, like the chores wasn't split.
No, it was like, yo, I need the trash. It wasn't like, yo. It wasn't like, yo, babe, can you take out the trash X, Y, and Z? It was like she didn't say anything. She had the expectation for me to do it, and then if it wasn't done, it was like she catch an attitude or start an argument over it. It wasn't like ever like, yo, babe, can you like take the trash out? Like, can you help me with this X, Y, and Z? Because again, if you ask me, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
That was never said. It was like literally like the expectation for it to be done, and it was like, and mind you, like I ain't preface the whole like story, get the whole background, but that was my first time actually really staying, like actually like being with somebody, like quote unquote living with somebody. Like I don't know the ins and outs to like what needs to be done. Like I'm a young 24, 25. Like I'm used to doing my own thing. Like I'm used to operating on my own pace. So like I clean my house, my room, at the time when I was living in a dorm, in my dorm, and I did it at my own pace, and things got done. She had the expectation, like I'm not gonna say nothing. You need to do these things, and if you don't do it when I think you need to do it, I'm going to say something. But you don't require me to get up and be doing these things. Like she didn't say that, but that
was the expectation.
That was the expectation, and she really just sat there like she was like barking out orders, like she was like snapping, like she was my mom, like almost like she was my mom. It's like whoa, like
yeah.
So it was like it felt like I feel like that's what like men like. We came from times where men sat on the couch, X, Y, and Z, and the kids, and along with wife or girlfriend, whoever. That's what they did. They partook in the beautification of a home. We live in a day and age where like feminism and the working woman of today, we can't expect you to cook, and y'all all kind of sort of or cook and clean or have sex X, Y, and Z because it's looked at us as like, I'm just not
You're putting
doing
us
that.
in gender roles.
Yeah. It's like that psychology of it. Like, don't expect that because that's misogynistic of you. But you have to, or men have to come with providing for the house, cooking and cleaning, X, Y, and Z, and often I see like it's like portrayed like you guys don't need to do anything. So that's what I mean by role reversal there.
That's an interesting.
I mean,
take.
that was long. That's long and drawn out, but
it's definitely an interesting take.
I've been taxed.
I won't hold you.
I've been taxed on, and it's the thing. I don't require much. I feel like most men don't require much.
I agree.
You know,
y'all need cereal and juice. That's it.
That's all I ask for: milk, cereal, juice, and to have sex when I need to have sex. Like that's it. That's it. That's all. I don't know. Like again, like I said, in this day of the working woman, I feel like it's a millennial thing where the day and age of a working independent woman, like things are reversed, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's so heightened today. I don't know why it's so heightened today. I don't know why it's so heightened. I don't know why that push is so heightened. Because like I said, like men, I feel like men are like, we all for women like doing what we. You know what I'm saying, like we. I feel like, again, I'm not taking care of I got 2 daughters. I'm not taking care of another kid in the form of a grown ass woman. So I'm gonna need you to. We gonna have to like bounce off. You know, sometimes, you know, we might have to do the 50-50 thing. Sometimes you might fall on hard times, and I have to take the burden of the bills and everything else, and taking kids to school, X, Y, and Z. I'm cool with that. And sometimes you might have to do, like, I might fall on hard times, X, Y, and Z, but I'm
I feel
not.
like sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's 70-30. I mean, it depends on what y'all need at the time.
Boo, you need to go to work. You know? Until I'm making, you know, $300K like a year, you gotta go to work. But y'all don't. I just feel like and today, like, women don't need to do as much. I feel like you don't need, like, we with y'all. We don't want y'all to be like, you know, back in those times where women couldn't vote and shit like that. We don't want it to be that. We cool with how it is, but y'all don't need to be saying stuff like, oh, we don't need a man. And that's a whole nother conversation for like who does that, or who portrays who makes these posts on Instagram and stuff like that. But like y'all don't need to do so much. We good. We get it. We with y'all. Y'all don't need to flex on us. We straight.
And I feel like that ties into like the vulnerability thing, and like people being scared to be vulnerable. And yeah, people are legit uncomfortable in being vulnerable and like telling people how they feel, or, you know, especially like in relationships, like having feelings and being able to share their feelings and tell people how they feel. It always, because I guess it goes to like that concept of the person that, you know, has the least feelings, has the most power. I feel like people operate under that guise, but there's strength in vulnerability, I believe.
It is strength and vulnerability. It's like I said today, where it's like it's not cool to be. I mean, I think with certain rappers and certain singers, like artists out now today, it's like it's not as taboo for men to like explore feelings. But we also live in a like, and on the flip side, like again, it's cool for women to like do what men do, like artists like the City Girls talking about robbing dudes, or it's like, you know, like
you see, I'm supposed to be like, what it say? So like it'd be like I'm City Girls on social media, and I'm Ella May in my text messages.
You feel me? Like, with all that being said, the world is prideful, so like
pride and ego ruin some good things.
You feel me? And like the world, like people have a problem with shutting off their emotions, when or put up defense like walls, like acting like they don't care. Like I hate where we at, where like I just feel like that's another cool thing to say. Like I don't care about stuff. Like nah. Like it's cool to like to me. It always been cool to care. Like I said, I always I'm a Cancer. Like we are emotional people.
Very sensitive.
I always like you're gonna know how I feel, and like I'm not gonna be apologetic for that. And I always been like that. Now I'm in my I'm 27. Now I think like it's strength. I see like it's strength in that, where the world is like on I don't care. I'm always happy. I don't have no other feelings but happiness, and I don't care about this. And it's like
all positive vibes, no negative ones.
And it's like it's fake. And actually today you see how much trauma people are going through. When you go to talk to somebody, and when you go to delve into have a conversation, you see why why a person is like that, and then you go to like after having many conversations with people, a lot of people who say I don't care about this, it's not cool to listen to be emotional or listen to Drake or people like that who are introspective and have feelings or emotions. It's like you go to see how the world is suffering through trauma and put up these walls and these guards, and you be like, damn, not like the world is weak, but it's like people just go through shit, and it's a form of, to me, it's a form of like
avoidance.
Or being emotionally weak. Like you're not emotionally strong in how you feel and your emotions.
Right, and I think it could be a thing where it's like you're blocking yourself from feeling these things, so you're not really saving yourself from it. You're more so just not allowing yourself to have a gamut of feelings. So you're really cutting your experiences off rather than protecting yourself. You're not experiencing things at all.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about it, before, me and you, about like the whole like block list, like women indulge in the block list. I mean, the block list is a universal thing because I got people on my block list, but I don't do it for avoidance. I do it when you actually are acting crazy and I have to block you. Like it's like a last resort thing.
Right.
Whereas though, like I feel like
my block game strong.
But I also feel like most people use it to like after breakups when they don't want to see a person or hear from a person X, Y, and Z. You use it like you said for that that I'm avoiding this person. I don't want to deal with these feelings. I don't want to see this person's name. I don't want to have anything. I don't want no emotions.
No contact. Right. So really, what it serves as is like now that I'm getting older and now that I've been in situations and out of situations, I realize that you can't heal through avoidance. You can't heal through avoiding the emotions. You can't heal through not going through the process and feeling the hurt and feeling the whatever emotions come with like certain breakups or certain detachments that you have with people. Like when you lose a person, it's a real process to like actually grieve. And if you don't allow yourself to like grieve, or you don't allow yourself to like have conversations with that person, or well, closure's always been a thing, but I feel like in some situations closure is necessary, and I feel like in some situations closure is really not. But at the same time, you can't heal through avoidance. Like blocking somebody and just like acting like they never happened or they never existed in your life and not dealing with the feelings or emotions that you had in that time period, it's not going to do anything for you but like make it worse. And if you do happen to run back into that person or you have another situation with that person, you're not going to come from a healed place. You're going to be at that same broken, hurt place that you were before you blocked them.
Yeah, I'm all for closure. I always seen like the advantages of receiving said closure from one. I always prided myself on being over situations and allowing myself to feel these feelings and not avoid them. I always like before I knew like what closure was, and and I know from you, I mean from many people, but I hear like most recently I hear from you that myself, I'm an emotionally strong person. I always talk to people and they like get from me that, because I guess how transparent I am with my feelings and stuff like that. They get like, some people are often amazed by how candid I talk about how I feel. Like I said with the closure thing, when exes come back around, because I've been on a fair share of block lists. Exes come back, and I can
You've been
talk.
To your fair share of block parties.
I've been on people block lists, and I've seen, and these same people have came back, and I am over a situation, and they are, like you said, coming from a place where, I ain't
a hurt place.
Yeah, a hurt place, and I always felt like, I always felt good about me being like feeling those feelings and being over it. Like, I'm done with it. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about. We can be friends. We're at our next stage here. We can go. And I always felt I always felt strong in that. It is a dope place to be in, but when you go to like talk to people, like I said, or like you experience new relationships, and like you see how much people struggle with just being real with how they feel. You like, damn, the world has been in the world is in a hurt place, like
in general.
Yeah, I hate to be like so like philosophical here, but
I mean, it is what it is.
Like that, like that's. I be like, I always find myself being like, yo, damn, like, yo, you have been through something, or damn, shorty, like this girl has been through something, or damn, bro, like you overcompensating what you've been through. Like I find myself thinking about that when I see people like acting like, quote unquote,
operating out of hurt.
Yeah, or acting like they don't care, or
and I feel like that's essentially acting out of hurt. Like even if, like I feel like the whole acting like you don't care, like having to vocalize that you don't care sometimes means that you care. I don't know if you want to address it, but like you often like in talking. Wow,
to you,
you about to call me out?
I'm talking to you like you have a little thing where you don't like to like if I say like you feel a way about something, you don't like to admit that you feel a way. Like the word "feeling a way," you don't like that word. Why is that? But not just you, but most people, when you say, "Yo, you felt the way about this," they be like, "No, I ain't feel the way. I don't care."
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Like, why do you think that people like? What strength do people get out of saying like they don't care? Like, what do you get? Like,
I feel like it's a control thing more than anything, because it's just like, I don't feel the way about this thing because I don't care about this thing. This thing literally has no power. I feel like saying in some instances, in some situations, if you be like, yeah, I care about this, I really don't be caring about it. But if I was like a situation where I'm like, I care about this, it's me giving it power. And I'm not giving certain situations power. They don't get no time. They get no airtime.
Me and you have mutual friends who we've seen this be prevalent. Where I we had mutual friends where they went to go speak, they went to talk, and I don't know if this is applicable for the air. Is it?
That's fine. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Okay. We had mutual friends. They went to go speak. I feel like their relationship was derailed based upon me facilitating a conversation that one could look at as being emotional, or I just wanted questions answered, and it was like, I feel like that we're on the same page. Like that probably was the demise of their relationship.
I agree.
And you asked me like I don't know the words that you said. What did you say to me? You said something to me like,
oh, about you like kind of making people delve into the feelings that they don't really want to delve into.
Right. And it was like, I felt that weird, like that could ruin a relationship. Like you just being real and not acting like you don't care. you being real about your feelings can break up a relationship. Like, why do I don't know how that. I don't know why. I didn't know why that was so. I didn't know why me making you be real, making two adults, be real about how they feel would lead to the demise of a relationship.
Because I think some of it was the fact that I feel like.
And before you go, these wasn't like the real feelings that I was asking for or looking for. They weren't negative feelings. It wasn't like yo. It wasn't like yo. Be real. Do you hate such and such? Yeah. Do you not like such and such?
No.
I was looking.
Like, do you like such?
Do you like such and such? You really care for such and such? Yo, stop acting like you don't like such and such. And then that led to other stuff. Like that led to ultimately the demise of the relationship. I just found that was crazy. Like we seen two grown adults really faking in this day and age, acting like y'all talk, and y'all acting like y'all don't care. Why? Like, what is that about? I just found it confusing. You was like, well, you be making people address feelings. Like, how is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, but people don't always be ready for that. Like in the moments that you be trying to bring it out of them. Like, you be having mad questions about emotions, and people don't be, they haven't processed those emotions, so, you know what I mean? It don't be the time to process them with you.
That's fine. I'm talking about when two people are together.
No, I understand.
When two people are dealing
I'm not
with each
saying
other,
you was wrong.
Like, why
they just weren't in the place.
What strength do you get into, as an adult, faking and acting like you don't care?
Well, I think it goes back to what I was saying about how people feel like the person that cares the least has the most power. It's a control thing. If I don't care about you as much as you care about me, I control this. Like, I control how this goes. I can control me getting hurt or me not getting hurt. So that's a thing. And that's a real thing that people think in their head, but at the same time they're telling themselves that, but they're still feeling the feelings. It's like they're trying to convince themselves that they don't feel these feelings, but they feel all of these feelings.
In person, did that look weird? What you're describing what you're describing, those two were, that was what was going on. They were saying that they didn't care or acting or portraying like they didn't care, but in the same token, also acting like they really cared. Like they really cared. They was talking, they was acting like they cared, but then on the same hand speaking like as if they didn't care, and also acting like as if they. Oh, okay. So let me explain.
I understand what you're saying. It was strange to watch.
No, right. When they was together alone, they were caring.
Yeah.
In public, they weren't.
Yeah.
And it was strange because we was getting conflicting stories. We started getting conflicting stories. When one would be one would be there, and then the other one wasn't there. They was acting like they wasn't caring. The one was acting like they wasn't caring, and then the other one would come around, and they would both be like acting like they. It was weird to watch. It was a crazy thing to watch. I just want you to be. If you want to have that energy, if you want to care in privacy, care in public.
I understand. I get it.
People don't be keeping that same energy, and we've seen that manifest in two adults that look weird.
It did look a little strange
to me, but that's how the world operates.
Yeah, that is how the world operates. I don't think it looks strange, like watching it in front of you, watching it play out in front of you. But the reality of the situation is that happens every day with a whole lot of people.
I'm not fronting
and
on
it's
my
like
shorty,
a normal thing.
I'm not fronting on my shorty. Like, even if we not together, like, I'm not fronting on you in public. I just can't do that. I just can't front, act as if I don't care about one in public. Right. That's weird.
I agree.
I don't even think they don't got nothing to do with being emotionally strong. That's just being real. Like, I like you, shorty. I'm not about to act like I don't like you in front of these people. Like, I like you. What's the big deal? That was weird to me. That was weird to me to see two adults acting like that.
I know. You told me. I mean, but I understand. Like seeing it, it was it was different.
Crazy. Like I'm not about to be acting like that in public, and I don't know why that.
I mean, it wasn't in public. It was in front of us.
If that makes me or us look weak, or then so be, like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was a good talk. You want to get into the questions? Yeah. We kind of running.
Yeah.
Or we could just do a part 2 with just the questions.
Whatever you want to do.
All right, let's answer some questions. All right, so I took some polls from different people, some different group chats, and I asked Instagram on my Insta story. Let me make sure I didn't get no new ones. Okay, so I feel like the main question that was asked a million times, I feel like you already know what it's about to be.
No, go
ahead. The number one question on the board is, why do men cheat?
Listen, before I start answering these questions, I want you to know that I'm going to be. I'm not speaking for all men, but I'm going to speak from where I'm at, and I'm just being real. I just feel like that men feel this way. The ways that I'm going to speak is going to be real,
and that's what we want.
I want
all candid responses.
Candid response, raw but candid.
Raw but candid.
Okay, cool. So why do men cheat?
Why do men cheat? Make sure you're nice and close so everybody can hear you.
Okay. So, it could be a plethora of things. I found myself being in situations where I cheated because I didn't really necessarily enjoy the sex sometimes. Let me give it to you from like stages in my life. So, in college, it was more so. I don't feel like I had too many like encounters with women who I didn't enjoy their sex. It wasn't that I wasn't having bad sex in college. I just wasn't for real. I just wasn't ready to commit to one shorty. 1, 2. Like I couldn't gather I couldn't fathom me like, all right, I'm a young 18 or 19 being in a relationship and just having one vagina for the rest of my life. Wow. And I feel like that's where women go. Like I feel like that's where women go wrong. And I feel like that's where a lot of my a lot of people who I dealt with have qualms with me because like. One is it's just not a realistic. I feel like to me, at that time, it wasn't a realistic expectation. Like, yo, first of all, I play college football. I'm about to just deal with. You think that I'm about to just deal with you and only you in your head for the rest of our young lives until we old and die? Really?
I mean, now that sounds crazy.
You feel like.
I mean, it happens.
I don't know why y'all think that. Like, I feel like y'all I feel like not like they did it to them. Like, I don't want to say that they did it to themselves, because I'm pretty sure at 18 and 19 I was like confused and emotionally as well. But I feel like I'm a very logical guy, and like that was said, and it was like, no, you're bullshitting. Like that sentiment was like a bullshit reason to give why I cheated back in the day. I used to say this back in the day, like, you really think that I'm just going to deal with you and only you? Like in conversations with women on campus, it was like, y'all really think that a man is going to deal with you and only you from 18 until you die?
I mean, it's a thing. Rare. What's the thing?
Rare.
Very rare.
Rare. I want to experience, like, men. All right, let me answer the question. Men cheat, like, it's not really a you thing. It's a us thing. It's I'm giving you a 27-year-old answer. It's not really a y'all thing. It's really a man thing. It don't got nothing to do with what we're not getting. Men are not cheating on women because, I don't like you or I wouldn't be with you. I feel like most men, most sane men, are not going to be with somebody that they don't like.
Right.
With that being said, it's a maturity thing. Like, yo, I just want pussy and I want a lot of it. like that's that. And when you and you find when men like starting to understand, like when men start to understand like the risk is not the reward, that's when you get the men who are like more emotionally or more mature mentally, and then they, you find the men who are faithful. They're weighing out those risks and rewards. Like I feel like women like take the whole cheating thing personal. Like y'all get a lot of insecurities from it, and there's a lot of like negative things that come with cheating. When I would just feel like y'all just women just personalize it so much.
Because it feels like a form of betrayal.
I had this conversation with you before. Like I feel like women, they will deal with anybody, any type of person, as long as they're not getting cheated on. So you'll deal with a nigga who sell drugs to little kids in the community, a drug dealer. Y'all deal with bank robbers. Y'all deal with murderers.
Bank robbers and murderers.
y'all deal with scammers. You feel me? Like y'all deal with like the lowest of the low people, as long as that man is not cheating. And I feel like it's more egregious things. Like cheating is not just everything. It's not a teller of if I love you or not. I don't feel like. I just feel like that y'all personalize it where for men is like it's not like it don't got nothing to do with y'all. I just want this vagina's getting old and I want some new shit, and when I get that new shit, I'm gonna come back to you. Like that's that. Like you my shorty. Like you're doing more than what this new vagina is doing. But like I just want something new. That's it. Like that's it. It don't got nothing to do with me not liking you. You cool. And not necessarily for real. It'd be like, yo, what my sex not good? I'm not attractive. No, boo, you pretty. I wouldn't be with you if you wasn't pretty. I feel like most men are not going to be with somebody if they're not physically appealing. It just got something to do with like, I just want something new. For other men, it's like a belief thing. Like, yo, as a man, I'm just supposed to be fucking a lot of girls. Period. It makes people feel good. Like for men, dealing with a lot of pretty girls is like a
ego booster.
It's an ego booster. It's an ego booster. We ain't gonna never get came at from art by other men. We ain't gonna never get clowned for dealing with a bunch of women. We just not. It's socially acceptable for men to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
So there's a lot of variables here.
But we'll take that answer.
Okay.
Okay, but do men always cheat? No, do they cheat in every situation? Do they grow out of cheating?
Yeah. Like I said, men get older and they start to you start to weigh the risks. You start to ask yourself, like I said, the risks worth the reward, and that's how you know you're dealing with probably a more mature man, and I want to, if I'm doing it as a percentage, the percentages go down with somebody who has values and morals and weigh the risks, the pros and cons to cheating. So you can deal with a man who probably was a cheater. And it's a system. I don't believe in the once a cheater is always a cheater thing. I really don't believe it, and that's just not me being a man and saying that. People can change. 1, 2, things do get old. 3, like I said, I was one way in high school and in college, and now that certain things, life happens where you start to weigh the risk and rewards. Like, if that's answering your question.
Yeah. It did.
Okay.
Yeah. So, another question. Well, I guess it wasn't really worded as a question, but it was like the concept of being honest versus selling a dream. Like how, and like why, like how women get offended by the truth. So it's like how women be like, just tell me the truth. Like, you could tell me the truth. Like, just be honest. Like, all I want is you to be honest. And, you know, not really being able to handle it. And I don't even know if it's not being able to handle it or more so them handling it, but not like the man wishes you would have.
Okay, before I answer that question, I want to do stuff. Like, I feel like men listen to your podcast. I want to like gauge some. I want to ask reverse questions. So, what was the first question you asked me? I feel like men need some insight as to what women do or what women don't do and stuff like that. What was your first question? I think men.
What?
Yeah, I want to know. I need you to answer some stuff for us. Remember when we answer stuff for y'all? I need the men who listen to your podcast to get some answers too. We have some questions.
It was why do men cheat? So why
do women cheat?
Oh gosh, I feel like when women cheat, I'm not a cheater, but I feel like when women cheat,
whoever admits to not being a cheater.
You just said that you used to be a cheater.
Who admits to currently being a cheater? I told you about my. So somebody will admit to their
I've never been a cheater.
Nobody's ever going to admit. Okay, go ahead.
I've never been a cheater.
All right, go ahead.
But we've had that conversation before. But anyway, I feel like women cheat. Well, now I feel like it's a little different because I feel like before it would be a thing where women only cheated if it was a need that wasn't being met. Or some women would do it out of like being vindictive, like to get back at a guy. Mm-hmm. But now I feel like they kind of be on some of them be on the same wave as men. Like they really just be cheating to cheat, or you know what I mean, for a dinner, or for this or for that. And I feel like I know it's a thing, but I still like. It's still more prevalent that it's just like a need that's not being met. Like she's feeling unheard. She's not getting enough attention. She's not getting the things that she's asking for. Or she's not being heard. Or he's out cheating. So she's like, well, I'm not just going to be cheated on and just be sitting here looking stupid. I'm going to go do me too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like.
What I come to experience in this man versus women thing, like when men cheat is wrong. When women cheat, is always an excuse behind it. I feel like it's always an excuse, and it's like, nigga, you cheated. When a girl confronted, is like, well, you wasn't doing this, and it diminishes like the accountability fact. Like, is it? Do you think that is ever a real reason? Like, is it a real reason to cheat? Is it a Am I asking this right?
I feel like no. I feel like I kind of talked about this on the last episode too. Like, I know me personally, I'd rather leave than cheat. Like, if it's something in a relationship that I'm not happy about, if I'm not happy or I'm not getting what I want, and I can get what I want somewhere else, well, I'm going to leave and just go get what I want somewhere else. I'm not going to cheat. Like, I just feel like a lot comes with cheating, and it's about more than you. And the way that you affect the other person in a relationship just makes it not even worth it. So it's just like, you might as well just leave and possibly stay amicable with the person that you're in a relationship where, you know what I mean? I feel like if you do it like that, I mean, this isn't good. See, this is why I don't do breaks. Because I feel like breaks really be like, for people to leave and go do something unsavory and then come back and it be cool and it be like, well, we was on a break.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Like, no, so we either done or we working it out. It ain't no breaks.
Okay. The last question that I feel like men need to be answered on this cheating topic with women. You spoke to it like I feel like women just be, nowadays women cheat to cheat. I don't think that's a true statement.
Some women do cheat to cheat now.
In my personal opinion, I'm not about to be PC here. In my personal
I'm telling you.
Okay, in my personal
I'm telling
opinion,
you the thing.
In my personal opinion, only like the only people who cheat to cheat, like. What do you want me to say? Like, I feel like the only people, like, you a hoe if you cheating to cheat.
What?
Period.
So are men hoes that cheat?
You can call it like, yeah, but that's not looked at as negative for us. Like, yeah, go ahead, fucking,
Why can't she just be sexually?
No, when women
free.
You spoke to it. When women cheat, I feel
in touch with her sexuality. Maybe she just wants to have sex. Maybe she just wants some new sex from somebody else. Maybe she just wants some new D.
That's fine, but you are going to be looked at as a whore in this, and
I don't think so. Men, I don't think so.
If you're sexually active to women, you are a hoe to men.
What?
If you're
that's ridiculous.
If you are promiscuous, if you have sex with a lot of guys, you're going to be looked at as a hoe. Did I say sexually active?
So now this sounds misogynist.
Okay, I know what it sounds like, but that's just fact. That's just fact. If it's a girl who having sex with a lot of men and operating like men do, without no reason at all, to men, that girl is a hoe. Point blank, period. So, I don't, the reason, like, what you saying, like, I just feel like today women, just cheat because they just want some new dick. No,
I feel like that's a factor. I don't feel like that's the main factor. I still feel like the main factor is a need not being met in the relationship that they're in, or,
I feel like that's emotional. So, when I'm asking you, is emotional like women emotionally cheating? Do you think that cheating is all the same thing, or is cheating because you want, like, men cheat because they want some new vagina, and women emotionally cheating, is one worse than the other? Is one? You get what I'm asking?
I feel like I don't feel like emotionally cheating is worse, because I feel like the other way, you're opening doors for all kinds of stuff, disease, kids outside of the relationship, having a kid on somebody, and those other things. I mean, emotional cheating, that can still be a friend. Like, yeah, I may be getting emotionally attached to this person now, but it can still be a friendship. It didn't go too far.
I don't ever think. I always, when women cheat, I always feel like it's worse than when men cheat.
Why?
Personally. Because somebody, like, again, men don't cheat for reason. Like, men do cheat for reasons. Like, yes, it's like, I'm not getting something here, but it's not because I don't like you, or you're not doing what I need you to do, or it's not like that in an emotional way. Women, 9 times out of 10, when you cheating, like, you like whoever you cheating with, and this is premeditated almost.
I feel like most women, not all women, but I feel like most women won't have sex with somebody that they don't like, or talk to somebody they don't like.
As for men, it don't necessarily gotta do nothing emotional. I would, like, listen, in no cases where I would like, if you cheat on me and you my woman, we're done here. And the only way that we're not done.
Okay, go ahead.
And the only way that we're not done is if I really believe that you had no emotions for said guy. So for men, I feel like we're gonna get to this somewhere in these questions. Like, men be hurt, or like, men can cheat, but they feel like women can, like, men can give it but can't, like, take it, I guess. Why it seems like that? Because women emotionally cheat. Like, dudes, like, if I really felt like you ain't have no attachment, you just was doing some hoish shit this night and
Unsavory.
just got some new D. You feel me?
Oh gosh.
I would be cool with that. It's the emotional factor for me.
What?
That like
That's crazy. I don't believe you.
And I don't feel like I deal with. I don't feel like I do. And I don't feel like no men feel like they deal with like hoes, quote unquote, or somebody that's promiscuous. But that's why men be hurt. And like, yo, you not like I'm not coming. It's a rap if you cheat. It's a rap. If
I
you
feel like all men are like that
like,
though. I feel like men will go back, just like women go back.
Men.
I know men that have gone back.
We living in a different age where men go back, but I'm not going back. And I frown upon the guy who like go back. It's frowned. Like
okay, but if she's willing to take you back for cheating, you not gonna take her back for cheating?
If she's because again, y'all have whatever insecurities that y'all have after cheating, it's only because what y'all do to yourselves. It's not facts. It's not facts. It's not.
Okay, so why can't it be the same way the other way around?
Because I feel like most women cheat emotionally. Unless you are again somebody who's promiscuous and just do shit for no reason, women don't operate like that. Women operate in emotion. You're having sex with somebody else because you have feelings for said person. That's the reason why. For that reason alone, I'm not taking no woman back.
But
I don't deal with a hoe.
She could love you more though. She could stop talking to him and be back faithful with you.
No, I will never believe it. Never believe. And you got feelings for this other dude. That's why I'm not coming back to you. You are no longer home to me. You're not emotionally.
I feel like women need to do better with that. Then I feel like we need to stand our ground
and do what.
And when guys cheat, be out.
What?
And now you talking about some why? Because there's no emotional attachment.
It's because it's not. Because it's not. What you want me to?
But okay, so
if I'm out here loving every girl,
but okay, so
I will see what you saying.
Listen, so the fact is, like, a guy will cheat, she'll take him back, he'll cheat again, and sometimes the same exact person. So either there is some type of attachment and emotion that you still going back to the same person, or what?
The vagina is just good.
Oh my god!
That could just be the case.
Oh my god!
We can look as to why I keep going back to this girl and cheating on you with this girl.
Oh no!
But it don't necessarily mean that I have some emotional attachment. It could mean that your vagina is just not better than hers. It could mean that. Now that's another convo that you need to have.
So why not be with that one?
Because that don't mean that I love shorty. Like, that don't mean that. Women emotionally cheat. You like said person. You are emotionally attached to said person.
You don't believe in soul ties when it comes to sex?
No,
all right, so
no. Not when it comes to sex.
That's the thing. You know that, right? So
no,
if you constantly going back to this same person for sex, you're creating more and more soul ties.
Women believe in that
deeper
type of
soul ties.
Okay, tell me where that come from.
Tell me where it's just a woman thing.
Tell me where that sexual soul tie thing come from.
Because it is a thing. Like, guys enter women's.
And who preached that idea that you about to? Matter of fact, finish that idea.
What?
Finish the idea that you was just about to say. Finish it.
Okay.
I cut you off.
So, guys enter women.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're being let into like a gateway that creates an emotional thing. Like, you can say what you want, but it creates an emotional thing. It creates a tie. It creates a soul tie. And the more you have sex with that person, the deeper those ties get. I feel like that's a lot of the reason why, even after people will break up, they'll still be having sex. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, people will break up and not be couples no more, but still be having sex years later.
Because sex is good. For men, who preaches that idea? Who says that? That idea that you just said? Where did that idea come from? They don't come from men.
Of course, it would.
Women say that, right? Women
does that make it not right because y'all don't say it?
Yo, because for us, it's just sex is no. It doesn't. I don't have no soul tie in that. I'm not connected to you because I enter your vagina. That's some power of the That's some power of the pussy type. So, like I don't know. I don't feel like I'm emotionally or our souls are connected because I enter your vagina. No. It's years later that I'm still having sex with you because your sex is good. Like, sorry, bro. Like, it's not that deep for men. It's not. Y'all try to do that to make it be like, well, that's why. It's like a sympathy card little thing that y'all use. Like, you enter me. That's why. It's like an excuse to catch feelings. It's an excuse to when it's a sympathy thing when men cheat. It's like, no, it's not that. Whatever you trying to say, it is not that deep. So I don't got no sympathy for you. It's not the excuse for you to act crazy.
Just because you don't believe it, don't mean it's not true.
None of that. Like, how my soul is connected to you because you have a hole and I enter you. It's not a thing. It's a thing to y'all. Like, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. But back to what I was asking you about, like, back to what I was saying, like the emotional thing. I feel like the emotional thing is like a word, like that. That's like worse. Like that. Like it's levels to cheating. I feel like emotionally cheating is worse. I feel like women. I feel like. Do you believe that women cheat? Do you believe that do you believe that women cheating is worse than men cheating? You're a woman. I expect you to say no.
Do I feel like women cheating is worse than men cheating? I feel like it's the same. I don't think like anybody should cheat on anybody.
You feel like cheating is cheating?
I feel like cheating is cheating, no matter who does it.
What's the quote? I don't know if I'm quoting it right.
Like somebody's getting hurt, like you're hurting somebody.
Jay-Z said, what Jay-Z said? You don't get a nigga back like that. I
feel like
what's the bar?
Like men act like them cheating is not a bad thing, but
when
they get cheated on,
no,
they
it
be
is
crushed.
bad. Listen,
they be crushed.
Cheating is cheat. Okay, I just said that it wasn't. Cheating is cheating, but it's levels to cheating. All cheating is wrong.
You sound like my cousin. He says this thing where it's like it's respectful, like cheat respectfully.
It is. No,
it's not a thing. Cheating is cheating. There is not. There's no such thing as cheating respectfully.
No. It's no. But no, it's levels to cheating.
It's levels to cheating.
And I feel in no instance, like it's no coming back from a woman cheating.
What do you mean? There's no coming back from a woman cheating?
It's no way I can let you come back. There's no way unless you listen.
You say that
95%,
but you also don't feel like you've ever been cheated on, so you don't know.
Wait,
until you've been in the situation.
Let's correct that. Let's correct what you just said. I'm not naive to think it didn't happen. It just didn't. I just never.
It was never brought to your attention.
It was never brought to my attention.
Okay.
I didn't go looking for it, and so therefore I never had the feeling of being cheated on.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You really don't know what you'll do in a situation till you're in the situation.
No,
like if you were,
no, I did. I felt it. I felt the feeling of somebody who I felt like was home. If I'm conveying that right, like you mine, you went to let another nigga stay in my house.
In the hood.
In my hood. I felt that feeling before. That was not a good feeling.
Okay, you went back after that though, right?
No, I didn't go back.
No.
I didn't go back. Okay. I did go back to this person who I'm talking about, but I did go back to somebody who I felt like I felt like they were home and we were broken up, and I knew that they dealt with somebody else, and I've came back in that instance, but we were done.
Oh.
We were done. Like, what? I can't do nothing about that. This person who I'm talking about, who I didn't go back to, we were not we weren't together, but we weren't done.
So, you really weren't ever cheated on, so you don't know if you would go back or not.
Yeah, I wasn't in a relationship, and I don't feel like my girlfriend stepped out on me. I'm not naive to think, like I said, me being me, my girlfriend, like me being me, my girlfriend really has free reign to really do whatever she wants to do. Because I don't go looking for it. So I'm not about to be naive to think I've never been cheated on. But to my knowledge, I haven't. My knowledge.
Okay.
I can make a case for one girl, maybe two. Like, yo, if I really wanted to go digging, I know of one girl. Like, I know of one girl who cheated on me. I never proved it, but I don't think I need that much more
you
proof
felt
to.
The vibes.
It was
vibes don't lie.
With the premise that I've given you about women, her having a boyfriend 3 months later, you were dealing with this dude.
That doesn't mean that.
All right, listen. Me and this girl who I'm speaking about, we broke up in November. She had a boyfriend January 1st. We broke up winter break. She had a boyfriend January 1st. That was her boyfriend. So winter break is like December 12th.
Oh.
You had a boyfriend January 1st.
Oh.
You 9 times out of 10, the girl who I'm talking to,
yeah,
you were dealing with him prior to us breaking up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No.
You were cheating. This cool though. It's cool.
Or maybe they was just friends.
Nah. It's always the friend. Yo, that's a thing. You know, that's a thing. That's a common thing. That it's always it's always somebody who's close. It's never a complete stranger.
I mean,
it's never a complete stranger when a girl moves on.
Women do it too, though. Women and men, they be kind of waiting their turn for an opportunity sometimes. They be like, you know what I mean? They be around.
Okay, I feel like we talked about the cheating thing. What's the next question now? I feel like you asked
I feel like we went
answer.
in on that one. Maybe we should just do a part 2 of the rest of the question.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys, got some things out of this. And we're going to do a part 2 with the rest of the questions. Bye.
Yeah.